My
God.
cat was staring intently at the corner I couldn't face, and I swear I felt like someone was in my room.
Dang, man. Have you ever experienced sleep paralysis? It sucks. It's basically like being awake but not being able to move. Pretty much paralyzed. Typically what happens is your eyes open, you can see, you can think, you can feel, but you can't move. Like you'll try to open your mouth, for instance, to say something, but it won't happen. Sometimes you can make your vocal cords kind of work, but it usually ends up like a muffled whimper, you know, because you can't really speak. You can't really move your arms, but it feels like you're using all of your strength and tensing up, even though nothing's really happening. It's kind of excruciating mentally because it's the weirdest sensation that you'll ever feel. Normally, when people get sleep paralysis, it's due to exhaustion. Sometimes there's some other conditions. There's mental conditions that can affect it, but there's a bunch of people that suffer from this. And I suffered from it when I was young for a little while. And let me tell you, it was one of the most terrifying things that you can experience. I never saw anything weird, but I know a lot of people claim that they hallucinate and stuff like that. And I think it might come from the dreams that they were having. Sometimes it can be influenced naturally by the things that you watch or read or hear, like horror stuff. Watching a lot of scary movies and things like that will play tricks on your mind, and you never know really what causes it and stuff, but it's terrifying because you feel pretty helpless with that. So we're gonna react to sleep paralysis horror story from Nightmare Files. Listen, make sure to head on over to Nightmare Files and subscribe to their channel. Hit the notification bell. And if you like reaction videos, make sure to subscribe to this channel as well. Let's get into the story.
I experienced sleep paralysis twice in my life so far. I will share both stories. I'm turning 22 this year. My first experience happened during the summer of 2015, and it was downright terrifying. It was before my senior year in high school. I've been watching horror stories on YouTube, which at the time was very cool and a popular thing. I came across a video of a horror narrator named Lazy Masquerade called 8 True Terrifying Sleep Paralysis Stories. I thought to myself, sleep paralysis? What the hell is that? Anyways, less than a week later, I experienced it.
Wow.
I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning. I was laying on my back. I couldn't move. All I could move were my eyes. All of a sudden, I saw a tall, dark figure. It looked like a man wearing a black hoodie with his hood up. He looked to be about 6'4", 250 pounds. Yeah, 6'4", 250. It sounds cliche, I know. I couldn't see his face, but he was looking down at me. This probably lasted about 2 minutes, but I was laying there thinking this man was going to slice my throat at any second.
Now, a lot of people visualize a bunch of different things in sleep paralysis, and it's usually something that they fear. So if it's cliche, it's because that's kind of like the typical thing. Like if you would just say, imagine an intruder coming into your home, what would it be? Would it be small? No. Probably be tall. Naturally, it would be dark because it would be hard to make the figure out. And it would probably have some sort of weapon because typically that's what you would consider something to fear in your own home. So I could see how this could be a hallucination, a figment of the imagination, or maybe just a manifestation of your fear. Who knows?
That's pretty much all I remember from that experience. Kind of ironic how shortly after watching a video on sleep paralysis stories, I experienced it.
Yep.
That was almost 5 years ago. And recently I had another experience.
Okay.
I had woken up a lot earlier than usual because my older sister was visiting us and had my niece and nephew with her. I visited for a little bit and caught up with my family that doesn't live with us. My parents took them and my younger sister out for lunch. I didn't go because we wouldn't be back in time for me to get ready for work. So I decided to go back to sleep for 2 more hours, then get ready for work. I woke up and thought I heard footsteps and a girl laughing. It wasn't my mom or my sisters.
That's creepy.
It didn't sound like a girl that I knew.
That is so creepy.
I was laying on my back with my head turned facing the wall next to my bed, but also facing my window. I could see my cat sitting on my futon, staring at the corner of the room where my door was. Then I realized I couldn't move. I tried. I was completely paralyzed. I could only move my eyes. I only heard the laughing 3 times and the footsteps twice. It was coming from the hallway.
Oh,
My
God.
cat was staring intently at the corner I couldn't face. And I swear I felt like someone was in my room.
Dang, man. You know how it is when you see one of your pets looking at something? You know, you like, what, buddy? What are you looking at? Kind of like if they would be barking or something like that. Well, cats don't bark naturally, but you can tell when an animal is fixated on something. Like almost like if a cat would be in a cage and you'd move something around like a toy, their gaze would dart to it, right? And you can tell that it would be intently looking at it. This has got to be freaky because he can't turn around right now to see what's going on or what the cat's staring at. And he feels like somebody's in the room with him. Cool.
Which didn't make sense. Because even if someone was in our house, my cat would hide. She doesn't like new people. This only lasted about 2 to 3 minutes. Next thing I remember, I could get up and I got ready for work. I told my coworkers about it, and we kind of just laughed and joked about it. My supervisor even told me a story that happened to one of his friends, supposedly talking to Satan during a sleep paralysis experience. I told my family later that night when I got home. So yeah, those are 2 stories of my sleep paralysis experiences. It's weird how your mind plays scary tricks on you like that sometimes.
Yeah. It definitely is, man. Like I said, I've suffered from sleep paralysis before, and it seemed to be in a very stressful time in my life, you know, and typically I think that's one of the things that can affect it. Like when you're under a lot of pressure and things are going on and it's hard for you to sleep, maybe you suffer from a little bit of insomnia and you end up going to sleep out of exhaustion, you know. It's like your body and your brain are kind of conflicted on what to do and when to do it. And a lot of times that matters. And at that time in my life, I think I was staying up pretty late and waking up pretty early too to be able to, you know, perform functions the next day, like go to work and go to school and stuff like that. Sleep paralysis is no joke, man. But I've heard there's a lot of things that can help you, you know. So if you do suffer from this, man, research it. That's the best thing you could do. You know, I'm not talking about like, you know, Mayo Clinic stuff. Just find out a little bit what it entails and maybe use some best practices so that you don't suffer from it as much as possible. Even maybe see somebody about it. Who knows? At any rate, guys, make sure to head on over to Nightmare Files' channel and subscribe to him for more stories like this, as well as subscribe to this channel. I hope you sleep very well tonight, guys. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off, and we'll see you next time.